Hello, welcome to the Depths of Jigoku Podcast, where DreadPirate,
What up, guys?
KickenBeans will join us later, and I, Kain, are entertaining you with an hour of nonsensical ramblings. This time in video. Back from Water Damage Repairs is Poe, our totally friendly, not hostile or chaotic at all, AI helper bot. Happy Pride, they, thems.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
And a week of debauchery, apparently. Or just, no, one day. I did one day of debauchery.
Oh, dude, I spent last week at the burn.
Oh, how was it, man?
It was a week of debauchery, bro beans. It was awesome. It was way better than the Florida burns, arguably. And
I'm gonna say that isn't gonna fucking take much.
the Florida burns is a low bar, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It gave me hardcore Halloween art vibes. And then there was like lots of secret things. There was lots of things to explore. All the art could be touched. I am a fan. I will be back next year, and I am probably going to create my own fire art for next year. I am in the middle of designing it.
What was this one called?
Apogea.
Oh, I've heard of Apogea. We've talked about that one before.
Yeah, it was good, man. I had a wonderful time. It was hot as balls during the day. Like, I couldn't sleep past 8:30.
As it should be at a festival, let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's normally when I wake up too.
But the big, like, our camp, I was in a theme camp, and our camp's big thing was we provided shade and water, and we were dead ass in the middle of the burn. So, like, we were getting a lot of people just coming. We had a 20 by 30 shade structure. And then
did you call it the Oasis?
No, we were and I quote, some kind of hunting lodge for rich weirdos.
Like that.
We were Rocky Horror themed.
Did you bust out your outfit?
No, I couldn't find it. I was pissed. I didn't have time. I fucked up and I didn't look for it till the day before I was leaving because I didn't pack till Monday and I left on Tuesday.
That was such a good Frankenfurter outfit.
No, I make such a good Dr. Frankenfurter. But next year I will break it out, even though we're not going to be Rocky Horror themed. But it was safari themed, so everyone on burn night was safari dressed. Out here, because of the burn bans, it is a propane pyrotechnics show, which was fucking sick. This dude had an electric guitar that, based on whether he downpicked or uppicked, it shot fire in different directions.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. The fire spinning show was dope. Our boy, I don't want to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. Did an amazing job. Another beautiful friend of mine, she did an amazing job. I met her at the burn. She's a part of our camp. She was awesome. My significant other decided not to go last minute, so I went as a single human, and then she went as a single human. Everyone else kind of brought a significant other or met up with a significant other. So me and her wandered around together a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, she's good people's, like real good people. She's having some people troubles right now. But other than that, she's awesome. Nothing she can control, just like,
yeah.
When you're in this community, people like to unalive themselves. They like to take the sewer slide. And she's had a couple in the last year, so. But we took care of her, man. Kept her mental health up, which is super important. It was a good time. And then I climbed a fucking mountain and looked down upon the entire burn, and the pictures I took do not do it justice. Like, I could sit up there all night. And some asshole trucked a ramen shop and sake shop up the mountain with only 4 seats. So I ended up drinking shoju, looking at the entire burn from like 500 feet above it. Just fucking ecstatic.
That's like that. Have you seen the the people that did the fucking ramen shop on the side of a mountain for like proper rock climbers, like out in Japan.
Yeah.
It's just fucking hanging there. Imagine having to restock your you running out of ramen noodles or fucking like the MSG or anything like that. But like, yo, what up? You just barrel this shit down to me, man.
Right? All right. So, since we are in simulcast this time, I'm going to go ahead and kick on the cameras for all the viewers at home.
Okay.
We'll go with you first, DreadPirate. You are on. Say hi.
What up, guys?
And then we'll do me. What up, guys? And then we're not going to do the AI bot because we haven't finished his face yet. It's kind of terrifying.
I am totally not naked behind the curtain. Do not pay attention.
But yeah, it was a good time, man. I had arguably more fun than I've had at Hula.
How big was it?
2,000 people, but larger landmass than Halloween.
Oh, see, I think that's about like 2,000, 2,500 was about what Kiwi Burn was, and it was just the perfect amount of people.
Oh yeah, anytime I wanted to hang out with somebody new, I could always find somebody new. Anytime I wanted cuddles, there was a place to cuddle. Dude, there was a dude out there, Slime Camp. Shout out Slime Camp, whoever you are. I never met any of the people in the camp. They set up a Windows 95 computer. Like old school CRT floppy, what is it, 3.5-inch floppy and 5.25-inch floppy, and covered in slime. It was dope. Me and another campmate of mine spent like 2 hours trying to hack into it through the MS-DOS prompt, because that's how old it is.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, he like pulled up the run and typed in command. Didn't get anywhere because that's not a command. And then tried to PowerShell it, couldn't PowerShell it. And then I was like, bro, you got to click on MS-DOS. It's that old.
Damn, bro. Oh, shoot. We got a bunch of things to talk about this week.
Oh, yeah. We missed last week, and the week before we had to scrap the episode. So we got a couple things to go over.
We had to scrap that whole episode?
Yeah, my bad, guys, for listeners, guys and girls, and they, thems, and anything in between. We did a video episode. My video was burnt, and then our backup recording was burnt. So It's been about 3 weeks since we've actually recorded and kept it.
Is that episode 11 that's burnt?
No, that's the original episode 12.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Which is now this episode.
Awesome.
Hey, welcome. I'm so glad because I was like, oh shit, did I accidentally upload the burnt video?
No, I never finalized it. I made it like 30 minutes into editing and was like, I can't hear fuck all.
That's fair.
But yeah, man, it was a good time. We got a plan for you to come out next year. It was a really good time. We got a dope camp.
I bet it fucking was, man. That sounds like an amazing time. I've been wanting to do Apogee. I've been wanting to do a burn outside of Florida, and obviously in general for a while now. I'm actually taking the year off of festivals this year just because of I'm traveling a lot this year to go visit Willow, and buying the new car and shit. So
yeah, I am
doing the adult thing this year, not going to be a heathen in the forest.
I am officially car shopping.
Ooh, what you looking for?
I'm gonna get a truck, man. I miss my Suburban, and I know it wasn't a truck, but it was basically a truck. And like just for work, it'd be more beneficial for me to have a truck.
The crossover ain't doing it for you no more.
I like the Forester aside from its annoyingness. It just likes to take control too often, and I'm a driver. I like to be in control of my car. I don't like mechanical assists. But
that's fair.
Yeah, the winters aren't as bad out here as I was originally anticipating. and the significant other's truck does fine in the snow. If I get something newer, we'll have something a little bit better for hauling, and we can build up her truck to be kind of an overlander, off-roader. Like just before rock climber is our goal. We don't want to go full rock climbing, but we want to be able to go anywhere in her truck so we can beat it up. And then for my truck, it'll be more of a professional, like probably like a 2018 or newer. I don't need something super new, but I got a fat raise while I was at the burn. So
Nice.
yeah, I got position and monetary, so I am super happy.
Okay.
And then was told basically that if I quit, they'll come after me. Not like legally, like if I quit, they'll be like really sad and try to get me back. So they gave me everything I asked for.
Fair enough. I'm happy for you, man. That's some good ass news to come back to from a debauchery weekend or week. I guess you were out there for what, 5 days, 6 days?
6 days. I went a day early. Yeah, no, last Monday my big boss called me, gave me the news, and then I reminded him that I was going to the mountains for a week and I would not be contactable, and he was like, "Sweet, we will talk monies when you get back. I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody, so expect your phone to explode when you turn it back on." And it did.
Nice.
And then I came back to 553 emails.
Holy fuck.
I spent my whole day answering emails.
That sounds so tedious and boring.
I've
done it before.
It wasn't too bad. I forwarded all my emails to my 2 different bosses for my 2 different project teams that I'm on.
Okay.
So they handled most of it, but like just trying to catch up, I was surprised at the amount of things that happened over a week and a day of me being gone. Because I didn't go to work. For everybody listening, we record on Tuesdays, we release on Fridays, and I took the Monday after the burn off just to recover, which I'm super happy about because I walked about 18 miles every day.
Tell me, that is one of the unsung. And if you're listening to this and you're new into the festival world, or you haven't hit that point in your festival career yet or life yet, like whatever you want to fucking call it, it's a career. That shit's a job if you do it
Yeah.
as much as I used to. Take that Monday off. Do it for yourself. Do it for the love of your damn body, heart, mind, soul, whatever you want to fucking make the excuse for. Fucking do it. It is like it's like reinventing the wheel again.
Yeah, I am so happy. I took 3 naps yesterday. Like just doing laundry, and then as the laundry was going, I'd put some YouTube on, pass out. I listened to a 6-hour podcast. I remember absolutely zero of it. I don't even remember who the guest was. I started re-listening to it a couple minutes ago and then hopped on to do this.
That's hilarious.
Dude, I was so sore. I'm still sore. I'm better now, but like yesterday it was hard going up my basement stairs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're talking a festival in the mount, like in oh fuck.
Yeah.
That just clicked.
Just to get out of my camp, I had to go probably 200 feet down a hill and 300 feet up a hill.
I would have to take that slow for my very first festival in the mountains.
Yeah. But it was cool.
Even Kiwi Burn was in a valley. So there was mountains completely on all sides.
This one was
at the bottom of the valley.
This one was in a valley, at the bottom of a valley. It's still kind of rough terrain, but it was at the bottom of Widow Witch Valley, which was kind of ominous. So the gate's like 2.5 miles from where you are actually burning. And so you check in at the gate, you get your hugs, you get your welcome homes, all that dumb shit.
Of course.
And then you get into a convoy, and a bus came up and picked us up because there was a lot of hikers too, just people hiking in. And they load up the bus, and you follow the bus in, and it was like a solid 25-minute drive to get into where we were actually camping.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it was wild, man. And then one of my campmates brought some beautiful fire art. He had a big lotus blossom that opened up and had a fire as the center of the lotus. And
Oh,
then,
fucking dope.
yeah. And then the second fire art he brought, which is something I wish I would have thought of. It was so dope. It was a 2-foot tall bonsai tree where the bushes were fire.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, I was ecstatic.
That's a lot of really cool fire art, man. Like, you don't really get that down here in the swamps of the United States. Maybe at Loveburn, but also Loveburn is $450 fucking dollars now just to get a ticket.
And Loveburn's essentially a festival. It's very city. You can go live in a hotel and travel into the burn whenever you want, in and out of the burn whenever you want.
Yeah. Because where they hold Loveburn, I've been on that island. It's right smack dab in the middle of Miami. Like, it was a cool place to hold a festival. But yeah, you can see the building still.
Yeah, we were so alone in this valley. Like, one of our campmates brought his Starlink because he worked the burn.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd kick it on for a few hours every day, and everyone would immediately rush to their phones. But I very much enjoyed just looking at my phone and it having the circle with the line through it for service. Like, I did not want to connect to his Wi-Fi. It was awesome.
That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing for festivals since I think like my mid-20s.
Yeah, it's good to disconnect, man. Even though we run a podcast all about being connected, but it's good to disconnect. I got through all of the Code of Bushido. I got through all of the 5 rings, and I got through what's the book called? It's like Forcing the Muse or something like that. It's a whole book about how you get your muse to actually muse.
Okay.
So I'm taking lessons from that. I'm gonna go enjoy myself on that one.
I feel that. Well, that's dope, man. You actually took some time to read at the burn?
Yeah, I wasn't leaving the shade during the day. It was a solid like 95 degrees during the day, and while I am a Florida boy at heart, it was way too. I was killing 2 gallons of water a day. I had whiskey at the whiskey bar and some mead at an event they were holding, and I think that's all I drank. And somebody poisoned me with beet juice. That was all I drank other than water.
Poisoned you with beet juice? Or did you just...
So, I go to a camp. It's some dirty bass. I was enjoying myself. Some dirty bass. And I'm getting thirsty, so I go over to their water jug, and they got 2 blue water jugs with a little spout thingy. And I go to fill up my cup. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I can't see shit. I fill up my cup, take a big swig, and it's fucking beet juice.
Are you allergic to beets, or you just don't like the taste, and you were like, fuck?
I just don't appreciate being surprised with something that tart. Like, I was expecting water and got beet juice. I was not happy about it.
Fair.
Valid.
Can we go back a sec? What do you mean by muse?
Your muse, your
something that like something, an item, a person, something that inspires you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's worse.
Historically, it's your metaphorical artistic thoughts. It's the thing that helps you create. Biblically, it would be an angel or something akin to an angel.
Like your ideal self? Like building your ideal self?
No, it's not your ideal self. So the book is all about, so when you want to create whatever you're creating, you sit down and your thoughts kind of overcome you, and you may not create, and you get kind of discouraged and you move on. Like, say you're building a D&D map, right? You have an idea, you've been thinking about it all day, you sit down to put pen to paper, and it's gone. So what this book is about is forcing your inner muse to come out. May it take 5 minutes, may it take an hour. It's all about telling you that you basically need to have the self-control to sit and work. Like, you got to treat creation as work, not in a negative way, negative context like most people think work is, in a way of like, hey, I'm doing this now. I have set aside 2 hours or so to do this, so I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to sit here and stare at this piece of paper, or stare at this Lego, or stare at this digital creation or something until you start creating.
Okay. Nice.
But it turned out like the book was really good. It didn't teach me anything new. But it definitely reinforced some things I've already been doing, which made me pretty happy. Because like 90% of self-help books are hot garbage, but there's a few that are really good out there, and I definitely recommend this one. It's up there with like what's the one, like
How to win
Process
friends
of,
and influence people.
yeah, that one, or like the highly effective people and stuff like that. It's pretty good. It's going to either reinforce or teach you some good things.
Right.
And then the Code of Bushido is just something I like to read while I'm a little fucked up.
I knew that one.
And then the Book of the Five Rings is something I haven't read in probably a decade, so I brought it out to kind of just get through it again and see if I had forgotten anything.
I have to go. I have to go back through and read that one again. That one, funny enough, I always have in my traveling bag with me. It's been to every place that my travel bag has been.
It's
Just
hard.
because it's I got one of the little tiny ones, so I just put it in a pocket. I forget it's there, and I'll find it. And I'm just like, oh, I should go through this again.
Yeah, it's an easy book to get through, but it's hard to make time to read when you have all kinds of other things around you. And I bought this dope ass hammock chair from Walmart. It's one of those Ozark Trail knockoffs. I don't know what the OG chair is, but super comfortable, great lumbar support. Actually like helped my back. If my back hurt, I would sit in it for like 20-30 minutes and it would kind of soothe my back and relax it a whole bunch. It's definitely a keeper, and I'm definitely buying a couple more for my porch.
Oh fuck yeah!
But I would just sit in the chair when my back hurt and start reading and get lost in philosophical, teachings.
Also, we getting old. We can't be walked around for that long.
Dude, it was so hot.
And not feel it, especially in that like mountainous terrain, or even here in the swamps.
Dude, I burned through. It looked like I got out of a pool by the time we got the shade structure up. Like, we decided to put the shade structure up on the hottest part of the day on the hottest day of the week. And as soon as it was done, I was like, I'm gonna go grab one of these cold shower wipes and I'm gonna wipe myself down and become less wet.
Yeah, I gotta be real, man. I don't know if I would go to a festival anymore this time of year here in Florida.
No, in Florida, you couldn't get me out of the house this time of year.
Like, as hot as it, especially this year, it's getting hot every fucking year down here. We're 100 degrees every fucking day right now, and just humid as fuck. It is uncomfortable to be outside most days.
Man, August is coming up too. It's only gonna get worse.
I know.
And then we're plotting, because this camp is really dope. It's a bunch of local friends. Local friends and local friends of friends. We're planning a Burning Man trip in 2026 now. So prepare thy butthole.
What year is it? It's 2024. I'll be there. I got 2 years to plan for that.
Yeah, even if you just fly into here and then we just make sure we have extra tents and shit.
I have 2 years to think about if I want to go. Gotcha.
It's really cool, man. I had a couple.
You start with the smaller one first, Bipo.
Yeah.
Yes, let's take the socially awkward, borderline agoraphobic person to the middle of the fucking desert. With
what's the most
people?
What's the most amount of people you have ever partied around, Bipo?
That's not fair to ask
It's a
because
legitimate question. I'm just
technically
asking.
0, because I never went to like a party. Like even in my frat, I never partied. So
we'll fix that. And
if you want to say like the biggest group of people I've been around while events were going on, I want to say like 100, 150, 200.
It's way less crowded than like if you went to Universal or Disney, and there's more stuff to do.
Oh, do you count going to Universal and Disney with like family or friends as going to a party
I
with
mean,
a lot of people?
Okay, we'll go back. I'll take a step back from the party aspect. And then just in general, like around people for any event.
Probably like Universal or Disney during like high times in the summer. It's
so
like going out like that. But like I don't typically go out. So like I guess if you want to say like whenever one time y'all had one of either like a birthday party or just like big old hangout with the bonfire back where we all used to be would be the most.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, think of a party with 100,000+ people.
That doesn't seem.
It's a big
That's
area,
really
though.
confusing.
It's a big area.
It is a big area, so it's a bunch of like people from every walk of life, essentially, coming in and building a cityscape out of nothing.
Okay.
And that's what Burning Man is. They have streets and street names and like four ways and everything. It does turn into a city.
And even if you don't go enjoy the sound camps, the art is worth it. I didn't really get into the sound camps till Saturday night. I really just wandered the art.
My only like fear is like I'm gonna wander off and get lost and then like just never understand how to get back ever again.
Somebody will pick you up.
Somebody will help you find home. There's always somebody wandering around that is willing to wander with you until you find home and help you find it. That's how it always is. That's how it should be at festivals. That's how it normally is.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, welcome.
We has a
Beans.
KickenBeans and it has messed up our cameras. Let me
we put in
fix
the
this.
Pokemon Red or Blue Pokemon encounter. And like the screen goes black and like splits in transition. KickenBeans has appeared.
Right?
A new challenger has appeared.
Eventually I'll soundboard this thing.
Yeah, no, I've been slowly.
Why did you fucking doing that?
I don't know. I'm trying my best to like get out, but
Check.
Listen,
We can hear you fine.
We can hear you.
You're good.
All right.
There's a reason why the thing is I am a AI helper bot, and it's because I usually stay within my battle station.
Or even robots gotta explore too, man.
The most I ever explored was Stray. You know, that was pretty cool.
That was a pretty good game, actually.
I do tend to go out. I have 2 free days to go to Universal, and I need to use them before the end of the summer.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just go on an off day, like a Tuesday.
Yeah. Actually, ramping up now. It's weird to say like Wednesdays, Thursdays are like the off days, because everybody's coming in on Mondays now for week-long trips.
Oh, true. Still, yeah, go on a fucking off day. Less people, less hot. Already hot enough.
I don't know if you will say less hot, but definitely less people.
Well, more people make it hotter.
Yeah.
All them nasty bodies everywhere. They're children.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do we have a doc for this week?
Yeah.
We do, sir. We are also already recording, and you can kick your camera on whenever you want.
Yeah.
All right. Is it episode 12?
Episode 12.
Yeah.
All right. I am currently scarfing at the moment, so I will kick my camera on as soon as I'm done eating.
Sounds
Fair
good,
enough.
man.
So welcome, Beans. We've been talking about festivals and burns for the past however long we've been talking.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, I was explaining how good of a time I had at Apogea.
I'm excited to hear about that, but I'm sure you already went through it.
Dude, I got 3 philosophical books down, dusted. I got a bunch of cool art that I saw. And then we were explaining to Bipo how it's not like a rager the entire time. Like there's cool stuff to do on your own. There's cool stuff
Oh,
to
yeah.
walk around and do. Just the basics of a burn versus a festival.
Absolutely. I mean, the daytime during an event or during a burn, it's a blast to just go camp to camp to camp and see what people bring, see who's part of it, see how they all vibe together. It is such an exploration to just see what camps are.
Yeah, see, getting lost is half the fun, Bipo.
That's why I go to these
Eventually-
things.
Eventually, you find the friend to help you find your home, and then you have a new friend.
And sometimes a new home.
It's like,
Yeah. Not gonna lie, some people I met at the Bird definitely stayed at my place Sunday night.
that's how it works.
You know what's weird? I feel like we've had this conversation before when I first kind of met y'all and we were talking about all this. I feel like we've said the similar things. It's like, yeah, it'll be fun. I'm like, yeah, totally.
We've been doing this stuff for a very long time. So any new person where it's like, come with us. What? Just trust us.
I think you would enjoy it, man. I'm not trying to push you to do it. I think you would enjoy it, and I would be perfectly okay if you showed up for a day or two and decided you didn't like it and left. Because there's no one stopping you from leaving. They're just stopping you from getting back in.
Also, that big of one might be a little much because that's a 7-day event.
Yeah. It's also the desert, and desert camping is very much different because you gotta have like different things, especially out where it usually is. There's like like the sand and like other like.
Well, that's
Stuff
Burning Man. I'm
be
not
corrosive.
talking about taking you to Burning Man for your first
Well,
one. I'm talking about taking you to a regional.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Burning Man's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I ever get the chance to move out there where y'all are, I just want to go. I don't know, something about going in the mountains and like chilling seems fun.
Oh, dude.
It is fun. It is a great
Having
time.
a fire.
It is a great time, but I am wore out. My watch was so mad at me. Dude, day was Wednesday, because I got there on Tuesday. So Wednesday, I did 66,000 steps.
That's
And
a good day.
That was one of my lower days. So it was a rough time for my legs out there. I lost 12 pounds.
Buddy, that's more than just movement at that point.
Dude,
Congrats.
I lost 12 pounds and I was so hydrated I was pissing Aquafina the entire time I was there. I could have filled up a Dasani bottle and you wouldn't know the difference.
I was gonna say, did you like Bear Grylls it? And you're like, I gotta try this and just.
No, I did bring my camp toilet, but the porta johns were close enough and they kept them relatively clean. Saturday night, Sunday morning got a little rough, but I never had to break out the camp toilet.
That's good.
Nice.
Oh.
That's probably for the better.
Oh, I lied to answer your question about like the biggest thing I've been to with people and like music and whatnot. 24 hours of Daytona. Definitely have partied there. So
That's fair.
I forgot.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, it is not a rager like that. Burns are a lot more chill than that. Or they can be. It's kind of you find
You
your
make it
own
what you want
fun.
it to be.
Yeah.
Burns are like choose your own adventure.
Yeah. Very much so. Oh, so you know the big cock and the hog at Halloween? The big seesaw thing that shoots fire?
Yeah.
That was at the Burn.
Oh, nice. Did you jump on it?
Oh, fuck yeah. There's definitely a couple videos of me rolling around riding that thing like I own it.
Bro, that shit is so much fun.
Dude, I got some of our friends on it because they were like, no one's on it. I was like, nah, follow me. Let's go talk to the dude that's running it. So can we hop on? He gave us the rules and we started shooting fire 20 feet in the air.
Hell yeah.
The problem was I was definitely having a wonderful time on certain things. And I was getting so fucking into that shit. I was making it 3 feet off the fucking off the seat. You like crush my nuts one of the times. I was just done.
The guy that runs it had to stop us. Same dude from Halloween. I asked him, but he had to stop us at one point so he could re-drill the mounting points back into the ground because we had loosened them and pulled them so much that we were getting like a foot of elevation on the base.
That shit is so fun.
Yeah, there was pogo sticks that shot fire. It was a blast, man. There's a giant red button at one of the burning art pieces, and everyone was afraid to touch it, so I just kind of walked up and like smacked it with my palm, and it shot a 40-foot flame up into the air. It was so bright, it reflected off the clouds. So then everyone started doing it, so you could always tell where center camp was because it was the big glowy yellow thing in the clouds.
Amazing.
Yeah. I went at it like I go at Halloween, where I was trying to open everything. I found 2 secret passages. There was a bus out there called the Cuddle Bus, and it was closed for the first 2 days. Kind of. The doors were closed. The way to get in there was you got to crawl under the bus and come up through a hatch. It's a school bus. It's painted blue. They had pulled out all the seats, put down deck flooring, and filled it with 200 like stuffed animals, and you just crawl in there and it's just a giant cuddle pile. It was glorious.
No, but like in the middle, like I guess you don't do it in the middle of the day. I'm probably hot and sweaty in the middle of the day.
Oh, no. I stayed.
It's hot and sweaty in the middle of the night too, my man.
Yeah, it was average like 58 to 65 at night, and I was sweating through my clothes every night.
I was talking about in the cuddle bus.
Oh yeah, the cuddle bus was definitely very cuddly. But yeah, it was a good time, man. I had a blast. I'm definitely gonna go back next year. That might become my yearly thing.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Yeah, man.
Just I had.
What was
Go ahead.
What was the weirdest piece of art or the weirdest thing that you saw out there?
So I already kind of described it, but I'll go over it because I didn't finish my description. There was a late 90s Windows 95 computer setup, CRT monitor, old school keyboard and mouse, 3.5-inch and 5.25 floppy drives with floppy disks in the desk, covered in green slime. And after poking around on it and then explaining to some of my campmates that command prompt and PowerShell didn't exist back in the day, you had to click a window called MS-DOS.
Yep.
We discovered a bunch of slime porn, which was fun. and then just going through the computer was cool. They had Doom on there, like old school Doom. They had old school Prince of Persia, pinball. It was dope. It was a good time.
Okay. Oh yeah.
The
Old
nostalgia-
fucking
the
Windows
nostalgia.
computer that got Nickelodeon.
Yeah, essentially it looked like it got gacked.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah, there was another cuddle puddle I discovered called the Glory Hole. That was dope. All space themed. We found a pirate camp that the organizers were running because it was a pirate camp and they had a pirate ship art car. I asked, but I did steal the art car because, it's a pirate ship. You got to steal a pirate ship. But
They
yeah,
asked for permission but didn't tell them when.
I asked somebody that looked like they had an authority and they said yes, and then I spent an hour driving around picking up people and delivering them to their camps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got on, this one lady rolled up in an art car, asked if I wanted a ride. So I hopped on. We went and rode around. She was driving like all around the burn. And just asking if people wanted rides and stuff, and had a good, nice, long conversation with her. And I was like, about 20 minutes into it, I was like, so you just like being bored and driving around giving people rides? She's like, no, I run the shuttle service. I was like, oh, this makes sense.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
Dude, I had a good
She's
time.
doing her job.
Yeah, she's just doing her job. I got to do ranger training, which was cool. I got to be a ranger.
Ooh, how did you like that? Because I love doing ranger shifts.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and because they're an official regional burn, I am now registered to do ranger at Burning Man.
Yep.
Nice.
That's what happened to me with the Florida burns. And so when I was at Burning Man 2019, I did a ranger shift. And boy, was that a blast.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And then I only wore kilts the entire time because it's me. And I already had a kilt with a ranger, a khaki kilt with a ranger tag on it. Headphones are falling. And I have to adjust the thing because it moved you.
I'm here to make things difficult.
Right?
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to. There we go. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I had a good time, and it wasn't just because I was fucked up a majority of the time. And I wasn't really
another way.
I wasn't really super fucked up. They had a bunch of alcohol offerings. But I think I only had like maybe 3 drinks the entire time.
That's great.
Just because I wasn't in the mood to drink. No other reason.
I feel that though. It becomes less fun over the years.
Yeah, and
for some of us.
I didn't want to do drunken debauchery. Because like when I get drunk, I get kind of excited. And I started to do dumb things, and I was trying not to do that. So, trying to be a responsible grown adult.
Oh my god, he's growing up.
But yeah.
And also you feel so much worse the next fucking day.
Yeah.
And that's just a waste of a good part of a really good time.
Waking up sweaty and a hangover was the last thing I wanted to do. I already couldn't control waking up sweaty as fuck.
That's why you gotta have the ceiling fans in your tent, man.
Did nothing.
That's fair.
Absolutely nothing.
Did you not have like a big ass portable fan?
No, there's no power out there unless you bring a generator. And I'm more of a just kind of live person. I'm not trying to have electricity and shit. I didn't even bring a lantern. I literally used my headlamp the entire time.
Oh, you didn't want to glamp this? And you don't.
That's the best way to do it.
Festivals?
Oh, I glamp at festivals.
Dude, my air mattress popped first night as soon as I laid on it. So I laid in the dirt for 5 nights. Not that bad, honestly. I found a weird position that if I sleep in, my back was comfortable.
Oh man, that sucks. Why didn't you just cuddle up with someone?
Because everyone that was kind of free, really there was only one person that wasn't coupled. And she didn't have that big of a tent. I didn't know her that well at the beginning. We ended up becoming really good friends. You might you're not in the chats. What was her burner name? Accident Prone. Yeah. So she didn't bring a couple with her. So me and her ended up just coupling up and hanging out the entire time. And I'm sure she would have let me cuddle with her, but I wasn't going to ask because, I don't know her that well. I don't know what her views on such things are.
That's fair.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, we definitely cuddle busted hard one night.
But that's a time and a place and an experience.
Yeah,
right.
I didn't want to be weird around a bunch of new people. They were already kind of feeling some kind of way about my previous employer and stuff like that. I grew on them, and they loved me by the end. But the first couple days, it was a little. They were like hiding things and stuff like that. And it's just like, you guys don't got to worry about this. I came here to chill and hang out with you guys. You don't got to worry about like hiding your drugs and all that stuff.
Did you from day one tell them that you used to work for an abbreviated company?
No, I didn't. Somebody let a little of my history slip because so I got there late Tuesday, and then Wednesday is when everyone else got there. And they'd start rolling around 9-10 in the morning, And I immediately like, yeah, it's hot as shit out here, but I'm here to help. And I just like did what I do best, and I just turned into a robot and started putting up camp. And everyone else kind of taking breaks, and I'm just going and helping everybody because I was set up. And so I guess somebody asked one of our other campmates that knows me pretty well, like, why or how I'm just like doing these things in the sun, because we put the shade up last, which was a fucking mistake. And
Rookie move right there.
That wasn't by choice. That was because the shade showed up last.
Oh.
Yeah, we put the shade up at 3 in the afternoon. It was horrendous.
Yeah, that's miserable.
But one of my friends, not burn friends, was like, yeah, no, he used to do this, so he like is used to a little bit of suffering. And then that kind of like set a weird tone at the beginning. But after like day 2, by Thursday everyone was real comfortable with me, and by Friday everyone was partying with me. So
right on.
I mean, that could have meant anything. That could have just specifically meant he's from Florida.
Well, I'm sure that's also the abbreviated version that we're getting on the podcast.
Yeah, they went into a little bit more detail.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sure, because that whole crew is pretty open-minded for the most part. So like I'm sure some very specific details were said that like can put some of them off a bit without knowing him beforehand.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was like that. But the people that did know me like calmed everybody down and got them to be a little more comfortable with me. So it was a good time. It was just a little shaky that first Wednesday. I did do yoga every day, but that was just because there was a beautiful woman in our camp that did yoga every morning and was offering classes.
Hell yeah.
I'd take that up too.
Dude, yeah, and I was like, well, I got a yoga mat. She's like, I brought 10. And I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Well, the goal is to definitely be there with you guys next year.
For sure. I gotta get the dreadlocked one to come with us next year.
You let me know when. I can take time off.
June, end of June, every year.
Beginning of June.
Or, yeah.
Beginning of June. I can do beginning of June.
I think there's already a Discord for next year's planning. I will have to check the chat and I will throw you guys an invite. But
please do.
Yeah, it was kind of weird being in the chat because I got voluntold to do a couple things that normally I'd be okay with doing. Like, we taught a lockpicking class and somebody mentioned that I know how to lockpick, so immediately they were like, oh, Kain can help teach. And I was like, no, I don't like being told to do things. Now I don't want to do this. But I ended up helping teach a lockpicking class. So, just stuff like that. But I kind of explained myself and they understood. We are 47 minutes into this and we haven't gotten to a single topic.
That's fine. We have topics, but this is also a chance for us just to chill and talk whatever we want to talk.
For sure.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple on here I actually want to talk about.
All right.
So let's move into the video game rants. There is a Studio Ghibli inspired RPG coming out that I am oddly excited for. Where is it? This is the description that reads on Games Radar. Survival game meets colony sim as Zelda, Palworld, and Valheim collide in this Ghibli inspired world.
It's so pretty.
Dude, it looks
I'll
good.
say the world has me intrigued.
Oh,
Is it weird that I kind of don't trust it?
I'm not a survival. I'm not a survival game person.
I don't trust it.
That's also kind of fair with the modern era of AAA games that we're in.
Because this is probably more like alpha render footage of the screenshot, not like actual gameplay.
I don't know, man. Palworld did really good, and Palworld was basically alpha when it released.
Yeah.
I mean, this has hard Monster Hunter vibes.
Yeah. Like, I'll still play it. I just don't trust it right now. Because you're literally combining things that I've loved and then adding an art style that I that is like one of my favorite art styles.
Yeah,
So-
that's probably the only hang up for me is the fact that they're relating this to Ghibli, and that's got such a strong
The
foundation of an aesthetic that to me that already sets a bar so high that you really gotta like come through with that.
so the
When they
game
say-
creators aren't relating it to Ghibli. This
No,
is a separate review from Games Radar that is saying it reminds them of Ghibli like art.
It takes inspiration from Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
And that could not even mean that. Fair. But
I'm on the Steam page right now, and it looks
That-
it looks good. It definitely has a Monster Hunter vibe to it with different art and like
Mhm.
What's
almost
the name of the game?
Farah,
Era,
the Sundered Tribes.
Tribes.
FERA.
Yeah.
It looks very Pal Worldy.
I don't know. I'll give it a go when it comes out. I might download the demo. The demo is downloadable.
That might be a weekend thing to do.
Already?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out this year for full release by Massive Damage Incorporated.
Oh, what else have they done?
All right, let's add that to the wish list and let's go ahead and download that demo. Definitely give that a try.
This is their
They did Star Renegades, which was good.
they did oh god, I can never pronounce
Halcyon
You know what?
6.
You know what this honestly kind of reminds me of? An open world Dauntless, which was like a free version of a Monster Hunter World.
Dauntless was
I
good.
liked Dauntless. It's just I got too into Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Monster Hunter.
I enjoy Dauntless because I never played Monster Hunter until very recently.
Monster Hunter is such a good game. They did such a great job with it.
So what's the Zelda aspect? Is it just the glider?
They have it the world set up where there's multiple elevations, like what's the newest Zelda game?
Like Breath of the Wild or
Tears of
yeah,
the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Bro, that game is so big.
So there's also a lot of other I guess maybe it's just also the art style. Like I could see the art style in like the damage show. So like when it was like I'm watching the videos, like when they hit the big thing, there's like little splashes that's very Zelda animation-esque.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me Ghibli vibes.
I see where they're pulling it from. It's cell shaded. So it's very
Is it really just the cell shading?
That's a stretch if you're gonna say
That
it's cell
is
shading.
a huge stretch. Yeah,
it's
because when
it's well done cell shading. I don't know.
That-
It looks good.
still a
I'm gonna
huge
check it
stretch,
out.
yeah.
At least
I'd be
until the
curious to
newest
see-
Monster Hunter comes out.
I'd be curious to see more of the monsters and creatures because that's where I could also see them maybe getting a Ghibli vibe.
Yeah, I know in the picture, like that definitely gave me a little bit of Ghibli, but I think that I'm more like critiquing the article than the game itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
when you I think that's a big problem game reviewers or game review articles have is the way you get like clicks and views is by doing what this article did, which is fair, it's not super clickbait. But you set it up to be compared to some like big names or like some like awe-inspiring industries or artists. And there's like the loosest connection is like with this like, oh, the cell shading is really nice. And you know what else has really nice cell shading? Studio Ghibli. Or Ghibli, however you like to pronounce it.
Ghibli.
It's Ghibli. We don't
Bibbly.
it's not GIF, it's GIF. Fight me if you have a
My name-
problem with it.
You're allowed.
My name is
You're allowed to have your wrong opinions, but they're so.
I
justified.
never said it. I'm just making it inclusive for everybody, both right and wrong.
Ghibli. No, fuck the wrong ones.
Fuck the wrong ones. Fuck you talking about?
Yeah,
And sometimes that's me, but fuck the wrong ones.
I was gonna say, I thought
I'm
this was
not-
a place
not
to, like,
always
be
right
yourself
myself,
and I thought it was all about self-expression and
You want self-expression, go to a burn.
nah, too many
Radical,
people.
radical self-expression.
That's the big bird.
All right. Let's see what else we got on here. New Lord of the Ring. Nope, that's a show.
It's a movie.
new Dragon Age. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, the Dragon Age stuff looks cool, man.
I've been seeing a lot more about it, and it does. It looks. I've seen screenshots of it. It looks beautiful.
I
So
watched
the
a YouTube documentary saying that they put more into character creation in this game than they have for any of their other games combined.
which
That's
says
insane.
a lot.
I'm gonna spend
Like,
60
Yeah.
hours in character creation.
And honestly, man, I was always a huge fan of the Dragon Age series. I haven't played all of them. I played the first two, and I loved the fuck out of those. I tried to go back and play the first one, but the controls are definitely dated now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But that was a fucking 15-year-old game almost.
The third one, I got about halfway through it, and I personally lost a little bit of interest because they really focused on doing like top view tactical strategy
Mm-hmm.
in the combat style of it, and that's just never been my personal favorite, my kind of style of playing. So like, unfortunately, I only got about halfway through, and then I never came back to it to change the settings and make it playable for myself. But the story and the fucking the stylization of that game was wonderful.
Yeah, and that's what they've been really good at always. Is Dragon Age was always and has always and is always probably going to be that very story driven, very like literally like you're playing a book, a really
Mhm.
good fantasy book that you're reading, and it's one player, but it has the elements that just like pull you in the entire time you're playing, and that's what was always good about those games.
So this one is BioWare's response to their announcement of this game is, and I quote, "Of course, pause and play strategy is always the backbone of it, but what that means is that," poorly worded sentence, "in addition to fans of all three prior games and welcoming an entirely new generation of fans, we've got a pretty diverse player base to accommodate too." Which could be good, could be bad. I know they're reinventing combat, and I'm historically against that. I like the strategy based combat, but Square Enix didn't fuck up Final Fantasy VII. I'm still a huge fan. So hopefully BioWare can pull it off.
I think they're going to do a good job. Historically, BioWare still has mostly good games. Like they've definitely hit it out of the park a lot more times than a lot of companies over the years, like the past 20 years.
Well, yeah, they made KOTOR.
KOTOR, the Mass Effect series, not Andromeda, and then the fucking Dragon Age series. That's just three of them.
Yeah. Origins, was it Origins or Inquisition? I remember playing one of them and
was
just
the third one.
okay, so
Yeah.
maybe it was Origins. That's the one I didn't like. It was the more recent one is the one I played probably 20 hours of and was not a fan of.
Okay.
I gave it a chance because it said Dragon Age on it. Yeah.
That's valid though. Not everything's going to be amazing, but historically most of them are.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I absolutely believe they should remake KOTOR or update KOTOR and KOTOR 2.
They've tried. KOTOR has murdered like 5 developers. Seriously, a developer picks up KOTOR, gives it about 3 years, and then they go bankrupt. It was such a perfect game that I don't think you can remaster in a way other than a graphics update.
I'd be happy with that.
I'd be happy with that.
Same.
Honestly speaking, like I downloaded a free demo of it on the Switch just to kind of play it in the living room. So like just a couple weeks ago I started playing it again, and I probably got about like 16 hours into it, and the entire time my partner is just sitting there like, for when this game came out, there's way too much fucking NPC involvement.
Yeah.
Like every time she looked up, I was talking to a different NPC or a different character, like to get more story stuff and all this and that. And she was like, "That's just too much. Like, you've
And
played this for so many hours, and I feel like you haven't made much progress because you're just constantly talking to people." I'm like, "Yeah, you're not wrong, but also in 04, this was fucking game breaking. Like,
yeah,
this was so new and fresh and amazing that like you wanted to interact with every digital blob that was on 2 feet."
I would just spend hours talking to HK47. HK47 was my man.
Also, he was hilarious. His answer to everything was just murder it.
Yeah. Yeah, being called a meatbag never gets old.
No. Especially with the attitude and the sass that character had.
Yeah. They wrote that character so well.
They wrote that whole game well.
All
Even
right.
the second one was really good.
Let's move on to this other one, this other murderer of games. New Gears of War. What are you guys thinking? They're not the movie, the game. There's a new game coming out.
I mean,
So
I'm for the movie. I'm just gonna put that one out there, and I really do hope they put Dave Bautista in there because from what I've heard, he really fucking wants to be in that movie, and he play a part really well.
Yeah, he fits, definitely.
He fits the build.
No neck, thumb for a head.
I don't think they've really made a terrible Gears of War game. Not like there were some that weren't as good, but I wouldn't say any of them were terrible.
I can agree with that. I would say the storyline was always good, not necessarily
Right.
the mechanics that they added or removed.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was simple combat, but difficult fucking combat.
Yeah, you had to use cover and concealment. This one's supposed to be a prequel. So this is the aliens invading.
E-Day? Oh, it's supposed to be about E-Day. Oh, you know what? I'm here for that.
I'm excited for it.
Snippets, and you mainly see the snippets in the first game.
I think they'll do a good job, mostly because they haven't done a bad job yet.
Right. And you'll be playing the story that started it all, and I think after 5 games and bringing that in is kind of dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest with you, that's the one thing I gotta give Gears props about is it's always been a solid fucking game. It's always been an enjoyable playthrough, even when some mechanics are changed and kind of quirky and sometimes a little clunky. Like overall, it was always still an enjoyable game.
Oh yeah, and even the online play for that game was a lot of fun.
That's one thing I never dabbled with was the online multiplayer version.
I did for a little bit, because that was the age of Halo 3 too.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really a lot of online shooting games like that out at the time, and so I played that one a little. It was just as fun and gory and exciting as playing the actual game. But you were just playing against other normally human characters.
All right.
So I'm excited for that one.
Speaking of Gears of War and the Xbox showcase, did anybody see the trailer for the Doom game? The new Doom game?
No.
I'm not looking forward to it.
That bad?
I mean, it looks good. Like animation wise and the cinematics that they used in the trailer of it look good, but the gameplay already like just looks so different from what any Doom game has been.
Mm-hmm.
And to me it's almost like when Halo made the transition from being into this like ultra futuristic multiplayer game with jetpacks and all this other kind of stuff. That was cool for Halo. And then like when Call of Duty did it, to me it just felt like too much of a stretch.
Uh-huh.
That sensation of the stretch is how I feel like this Doom game is going.
Oh, trying to reach for the stars and not even hitting the fucking moon.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Shit, talking
Yeah.
about the Xbox showcase, Fable's coming around.
Yeah, I'm really
No,
excited about
I'm
that.
super excited for Fable.
I am so
I-
stoked for that.
I loved every single Fable game that came out. I loved 1, 2, and 3.
The last one that came out, I spent way too much time in that game.
I loved watching, like, I loved seeing how people ended in that particular one, because I watched somebody be such a good leader, and like their kingdom was doing really well and all this shit, but at the end they fucking revolted and
Oh,
they
yeah.
died. They got fucking murdered.
That was the cool thing about the Fable games, is you were just free enough to be entertained, but you weren't free enough where you got lost. Because like
Yeah,
that
your
was
actions still had consequences.
that was my issue with a lot of the Elder Scrolls games, was like you just got lost in them, man. I've gone down 20-hour Elder Scrolls binges where I didn't do a single main storyline mission.
Yeah, I remember when I was playing Morrowind way back in the day, and I remember this fucking pretty vividly. I was on this, like, I was probably 15 hours just exploring the mountains. And I found this fucking cave with a bunch of vampires. So I go in here, I murder every vampire, and I pick up the loot at the end. And I pick up this really cool, like, urn thing. And I'm just like, and it gives you, like, plus 15 to everything. It's like, huh, that seems kind of special. I should not consume that. So I make it a point not to do that. I hold this thing for probably about 50, 60, 70 hours of the game. And I get to the, like, final mission finally. And they're just like, oh, you need this, you need these things, this hammer, this fucking urn. I was like, holy fuck, I had that urn. So at one point in the past 70 hours, I had done crime all the time when I played that game. So I would always get caught by the guards, and I would drop everything I stole, and then let them take me and come back and pick everything up really quick. So for
Old strategy, Cotton.
yeah. But over time, I eventually accidentally picked up this urn and consumed it. So I got all these pluses, and I was like, "Fuck! I probably needed that." And I was like, "All right, I'll just fucking load my last game." 6 hours since my last save. I was also a teenager. I was also a teenager at the time, so I had all that time on my hands. But yeah, so I was just like, well, this is fine. I'm not going to do that. So then we fast forward to the last mission where they say I need that urn to kill the final boss.
Fair. Dude,
No.
That's the kind of bullshit like the Elder Scrolls game is.
Elder Scrolls fucks with you like that. It does not play around. Well, I'm rolling through all the other options or things that they announced.
There's some good shit in there.
There's some good shit. There's some terrible shit. Like WoW is now an Xbox game.
Saw that one coming.
I know somebody that plays WoW with a controller right now on PC, and it irks me.
How do we feel about?
There's not enough buttons for that.
Right, Call of Duty Black Ops. You have to have internet access to play the single player mode.
I mean, don't you already? Like I
No,
can't boot up the other one without internet.
If you're playing single player in Modern Warfare 3, it'll let you play it without an active internet access. You might need internet just to boot it up, but to actively play it. Yeah.
Yeah, but even to boot it up, you still need internet. So like to me, that there's no difference there.
That's fair.
Like, I'm not gonna like boot it up and then take my tower upstairs and like play on my TV in the bedroom and not connect it to the internet. Like, if I have to have internet to even fucking log in and boot the game, like I have to have internet to play it. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
but
just my perspective, but
but we're PC gamers. This is an argument for non-PC gamers.
Yeah, this is a console.
This is a
Plebe.
console thing, man. Like, just way to make it about yourself.
they've got fucking cloud saves. They can shut the fuck up. They've got cloud saves, cloud gaming, cloud streaming. Like you pay 10 to fucking $15 a month for an entire Xbox library that you have to have internet to access. If you're gonna bitch about it now, you're way behind the fucking ball to make an argument.
Well, something we can bitch about. They initially announced that it was going to be 310 gigs to download the game. They've bumped it down to 150, which is still ridiculous in my mind.
I mean,
Or why?
Wait, hold up, man. Modern Warfare 2 by the time we were done playing, we stopped playing it, was just over 100. Was just over 100 gigs.
Yeah, but 150 for a game with no expansions, no skins out yet, it seems like a lot.
That's fair.
Because it's only going to double.
God.
It's guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get past 300 gigs on this one. Give it a couple seasons. It'll be so thick and so poorly optimized.
God. I don't care, man. I mean, I might download it because it's free on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's my thought is I need a new first-person shooter. I'm enjoying Helldivers, and I'm going to enjoy Gears, and I'm going to enjoy State of Decay 3. But they're all third person. And
Yeah.
I need a
You're talking
good
about first person.
Yeah, I need something where I could jump on, play for 20 minutes, murder a bunch of noobs, and then move on with my life.
I get that.
Just old school fun, teabagging away, usual stuff.
I get that. And honestly, since Black Ops, we stopped playing Modern Warfare, I haven't had a good first-person shooter game in a while either.
Yeah, there's been a lot of contenders, but there hasn't been anything great. Everyone's trying to go to this. I think everyone's trying to get away from the Call of Duty thing and try to get on the Escape of Tarkov thing, which is just something I don't enjoy.
It's too much realism for my blood, man. I am not playing video games to have them be that realistic.
Yeah, I even gave Arma. I think a couple of us gave Arma a try, and it just is too much going on, man. Too many controls to remember. I can't just swoop in and murder some people.
Yeah, you have it's bridging that gap between real-time strategy and first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And sometimes, honestly, when I play first-person shooters, that's not what I want to do. I just want to run in and fucking kill things.
You know what we need? Quake 4 Arena. I would even take a remastered Quake 3 Arena.
Dude, Quake 4 would be dope.
Yeah.
I thought they were talking about it for a little bit.
They've been talking about it for a decade. Quake 3 Arena came out on Dreamcast, my man.
The best gaming console ever made.
I agree, 100%. I wish they'd remaster that fucking Sonic game for Dreamcast. That'd be sick.
I thought they did.
The original Sonic Adventure?
They came out with a sequel. Hold on, let me get the clickies.
Or you want to talk about a set of games that makes you rage quit when you try to play it way later on in life? When the Sega Ultimate Collection came out on Xbox, I bought it.
Oh, nice.
Two fucking days. I had it for 2 days before I took it back.
You're talking about Sonic Adventure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a high def version came out in 2003 and 2010. But I'm talking like not just an upscale, like actually spend the time, make the 3D maps correct, fix the fucking controls, and then let me go. I want Super Sonic, man. I want Goku and Sonic's little fuck child. Yeah,
Sonic Adventure was so fucking good.
it was. Let's see.
I feel like if they made that into a modern day graphic style game, the levels would look like something out of a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, but
With all the sliding and the jumping and all that different shit.
I'm okay with that. They just make it a little bit more colorful, and I'm
Yeah.
on it.
That'd be fun as fuck.
So, last game we'll discuss, because I want to save State of Decay 3 for when it actually releases with more than a, hey, we're making this game. Metal Gear Solid.
Never played any of the games.
I was going to say, I'm out of this conversation. I never played any of them.
Never played a single one.
Did
Dude,
they release a new one or tease a new one?
they announced a new one, and I am
Is it?
not excited in the most excited way.
Is it following? Was it Phantom Pain? Was the newest Metal Gear Solid 5?
I don't know. I didn't play that
I
one.
almost
Last
said
one I
Phantom
played
Menace,
was Snake
but that's
Eater.
Star Wars. I think Phantom Pain or something was the newest one.
I am wrong. They're just remaking Snake Eater. It looks like Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
Still don't know
I'm
what
a
that
little
means.
more excited now. Okay.
They just Unreal Engine 5'd it. I'll play this.
You know what game I want a fucking remake of?
Hmm.
Fucking Crazy Taxi.
They're doing it. They're doing it.
They're doing it.
What?
Yeah.
They are making another Crazy Taxi.
I want a remake of The Simpsons Road Rage.
That was just Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, but
What's just a reskin Crazy Taxi?
I want Crazy Taxi reskinned with The Simpsons because I just want to relive my GameCube days.
Yeah, they announced it in February. It'll be available
Holy
on Steam.
shit.
It's gonna be a
It-
AAA game.
Yeah, it looks good. Not
It is
gonna
a
lie.
AAA game. Honestly, I loved going to CC's Pizza as a child and playing fucking Crazy Taxi.
It looks like a
Wait.
modern take on a good Need for Speed game.
Wait, I look on Steam and it's $8. Am I looking at the wrong Crazy Taxi?
You are.
No, that's the original. So
This-
it came up because I looked up the Sonic game, and then I found out that Steam had a Sonic bundle or a Dreamcast bundle. And then I
Back
saw
to the
Crazy
best console
Taxi.
ever.
Is it not on Steam yet?
No, it's
New
not.
game.
It's announced
Hold up.
for Steam.
Hold up. So in December, Sega announced new games in the Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Crazy Taxi franchises.
They're gonna fuck up Jet Set Radio.
Yo, fuck you! I love Jet Set Radio.
I do
Dude,
too. They're
same.
gonna fuck
That
it up
was-
though.
That was one of my favorite fucking games growing up.
OG
loved
Xbox.
it.
It came with the Xbox on the 2-game disc.
I didn't even
have.
know it came out on Xbox. I only ever played that on Dreamcast.
Oh, so Jet Set Radio Future was one of the original games you got with the very first Xbox.
Yep.
It was Jet Set Radio Future and some racing game that was honestly a fucking blast too.
Wasn't it like OG Forza?
Something like that. And you got your own little garage and you added plaques to the garage and it played elevator music the whole fucking time, which now I like going to festivals and watching, so it's nice.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I hope they don't fuck up Jet Set Radio.
They're going to. I have zero
would-
hopes that they won't.
I've never heard of Future. That's crazy.
Xbox, the original Xbox when it first came out, that was one of the first games.
Wow, that went way over my head because I was fortunate enough to have an OG Xbox, but I didn't get mine when it first came out. So I completely missed this title.
Honestly, it was I sunk hours upon hours upon hours upon hours into that game. I had so much fun. The soundtrack was amazing. The gameplay was fun and bright and fast paced.
It is because of this game that I will literally, as shitty as they are, I will almost give any like skater action anime a watch.
Hey, Air Gear was fucking dope.
Yes, it was. Yes,
Air
it
Gear
was.
was a really good anime. But go Sega, man. They're still coming out with shit.
Ooh. Okay, I'll give Jet
I
Set
hope that I have.
some
Oh,
hopes.
did you look it up?
It's set in counterculture Tokyo. It's open world. And the original creators are involved. So hopefully it does well.
I'll turn the sound off. Okay, I'm watching the trailer now.
All right, while you do that,
Yeah.
what do we got here? Let's move over to movies. Let's do Lord of the Rings. What do you guys think?
I am. As long as they don't break it up into 3 movies unnecessarily, I'm fine. That's it. That's my take on that. I love the Lord of the Rings world. I love the stories in them, the characters in them. I think I grew up watching them. As long as they don't do it like they did The Hobbit.
That is fair.
It's my only take.
Oh, I clicked out of our cameras. I hear you, Poe. So The Hobbit was one of the books. How they stretched that book that was smaller than the original books into 4 fucking movies, I do not know. I never made it past the first one. But Peter Jackson's involved with this one, and I think he did a good job on the OG 3 movies, the OG remake of the 3 movies, because we can't forget about the animated movies.
Right.
I got high hopes. It's about the creation of Helm's Deep. It's set roughly 200 years before Fellowship. I hope it does well. I'm excited for it. I'm more excited for this than the next Star Wars show or movie.
I don't know.
Because Disney murdered everything that I held true as a kid.
They're milking that cow to death.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know if I'll watch this one. Every single time I've seen a Hobbit movie, it's always been with a date, and then we eventually broke up. So I'm like, I don't know if watching Hobbit movies is like a bad omen for me.
Then,
Like,
then just watch it single.
you gotta go.
Maybe you'll get a date. Maybe it'll have the opposite effect.
Maybe it's the opposite. I don't know.
Maybe you'll meet your partner at the movie.
Maybe.
Hey.
I just remember I really wanted to see Desolation of Smog, and it got fucking ruined. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this anymore.
I mean, it's none of the Hobbit movies are particularly great. They're okay.
They never have been.
Yeah.
Even the animated ones were terrible.
Fucking 80s animation, my dude.
Dude, you can't hate on 80s animation. You got Gundam, Voltron. Like, I was all about that shit.
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Sailor Moon. I've been thinking about giving Sailor Moon a rewatch.
I think they're still doing Sailor Moon episodes.
I was gonna say they did a remake.
Did they Kai it?
The remake was pretty good.
Did they shorten it out like they did Dragon Ball Z? I mean, if I remember correctly, Sailor Moon they didn't drag shit on like Dragon Ball Z. Nothing dragged shit on like
I actually will argue that.
Okay.
Because like Dragon Ball Z, you got 3 episodes of them just charging up for an attack.
Yeah.
But in each Sailor Moon episode, you only got 5 minutes of content because it was the 15 minutes of them changing clothes every fucking episode. So if you add it all together, like they did the exact same thing in different formats.
Okay, and as a young teenage boy, I enjoyed the shit out of them changing clothes.
Not disagreeing with it. I'm just making the argument that they did the exact same thing for men and women. Or boys and girls.
That is fair.
Except boys watch both for different reasons.
Hey,
All right, let's get to the one last topic that I really want to talk about. D&D being 50 years old and a re-release of 5th edition core books.
Wait, what is there anything new with this re-release, or are they just doing it to make more money?
So,
They're
so first and foremost, more money.
yeah,
money.
Yeah.
but they're
It's Wizards
updating
Unite.
them. They're updating them with the most up-to-date version of the rules, which I'm
Yes.
about because I like having the book in my hand, so I'm gonna buy them.
Oh, cover art looks great.
The cover art they spent a lot of money on artists for, and I like going through and looking at the art and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
point 2 for purchasing these, and also like arguably I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 20 years now. I'm gonna buy them just to buy them.
Damn, I didn't realize you were playing Dungeons and Dragons for so long. Cause I'm like, fuck, that's almost as old as me.
Yeah.
Why do you have to say it like that?
That was rude.
Let's see.
That was unnecessary.
Just
God
20
damn it.
25 years this year.
Oh, damn! It is
I've been-
almost my age.
I've been
That's
playing
insane.
for 21.
I've
Yeah.
been playing for 10 years. I started in 5th edition, so I've been
Well,
playing
I
for 10 years.
started playing 21 years ago. I haven't been playing actively for that long.
I got taught D&D by Miss Kate, rest in peace, love you.
He was amazing.
With 2nd edition right before 3rd edition came out.
Oh, so you got
or
a
right
little gap now.
before Books A Million, also rest in peace. Right
There's
before
still one left in Texas.
there's a couple left, but like it's dead.
Yeah.
But it's dead like Kmart. There's still Kmarts. None of us know where.
Anyway.
But,
I'll say something stupid.
But yeah, like 3rd edition was my jam. 3.5 was my jam. 4th, I didn't mind. I didn't like the action points. And THAC0 wasn't 2nd edition. THAC0 was AD&D.
Yes.
Sorry.
And 4th edition had its fucking place because it's what led to us having 5th edition.
Yeah.
Without that being as base of a statement as it sounds, but like 4th edition really fucking started the ball on simplifying a lot of things, and then 5th edition just made it a lot more playable and enjoyable.
Absolutely.
And
Like 4th,
how do you follow up 3.5? It was destined to bomb.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Like 3.5, if you were willing to figure out the mechanics and like spend a solid day or two learning the mechanics, 3.5 was the greatest generation because you could do anything you fucking wanted.
Yeah,
I would
it
argue
was also
though.
simple. It was just math, basic fucking math. But
I don't know if I'd say it was simple.
Yeah, it was a lot of
It was
basic math.
simpler than first and second and THAC0, but I don't know that I would say it was simple because I remember like I played a lot of 3.5, but I would say the last like 4 years of 3.5 era, I played a hybrid mix between Pathfinder and 3.5 to simplify it even a little bit more.
I think a lot of us did though.
But
Yeah,
that was for a reason.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
5th edition is I think that is the simplest.
5th edition.
Oh, absolutely. It's made to be the simplest too, though.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. The hardest thing about 5th edition is advantage and disadvantage conditions. But
5th edition
honestly,
I think that's so easy.
5th edition is
you-
as complicated as you want to make it.
Facts. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
And
hell, I've literally ran groups that you roll a d20 and if you hit, it's just what's the damage die of your weapon, and then that's what it is. Like you deal 10 damage. Congrats.
that's an easy way to get into it.
Yeah.
And then I've also ran very complicated campaigns where I'm like, well, let's see how this works.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's where everybody starts making their own house rules and stuff because like on a D20, the way I enjoy playing it is you get max dice plus rolled dice.
Oh, on a crit?
Yeah.
Although I wish they'd bring back the extended crit rolls from 3.5. I did enjoy that. I enjoyed the fact that based on what weapon you had, magical abilities it had, or just what kind of weapon it was, you could crit on a 19 or an 18.
That's the beauty of 5th edition. You can bring it back. You just have to tweak it just a little because their damage numbers are different. Like all weapons are. There's no like small, medium, or large weapons for like small, medium, or large races. It's just all the same.
Yeah.
So like you can bring it back and tweak it, and that's probably why 5th edition is so popular. Is that it's easy and you can just bring in things from older editions or just new homebrew rules, as Beans was saying. Make it your own.
I kind of like playing it as is, to be honest. My only biggest complaint is the crappy mechanics for the flying ships. Other than that, I haven't seen anything that I didn't agree with.
I think the only thing I truly want to that I homebrew differently, just because I don't like how the rule is how wild magic and its surging works.
I dig that. It's simple enough to put into any campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it is simple. I just like chaos a little more, so I'm like, oh, let's make it a little more chaotic, so it's not just a 1 in 20 chance. It's like,
but I think that's a
chance.
conversation per table.
3.5
per
wild
player.
magic.
Yeah, that is definitely a conversation per table. Hey, there's a 3-legged cat in the background.
Because I agree with you that I enjoy a little bit more randomness and chaos. So like I enjoy playing the wild magic table to where it's like either every other spell or depending on like the story points of how the game's going, if there's a high point or a stress point where you're casting your magic, where you'd be essentially under stress or under high heart rate or something like that, that would trigger your wild magic because you're not in a clear state of mind casting your magic. You're in a panic. You're in a high stakes situation. That is going to take you out of your element a little bit more. And like based on that, that's when I say, okay, roll me a d20, and we're not saying 1 through 20. We're saying high or low.
Yeah.
I know how. Oh,
I was going to call it.
I'll say one last thing, just because kind of going on that, and then we can call it. One thing I did with wild magic, and specifically that, is I didn't do it every spell, but I did it kind of like wild magic was more like your confidence and comfortability casting spells. Like they wouldn't fizzle or fail, but it's like when you're 1st through 5th level, you're still learning magic, so shit might go AWire. So I made like the percentile an increase, and then as you gained levels in sorcery, you start to control your chaos to a point to where like when you're at like 19, 20, it rarely fires or like you can force wild magic. So it's definitely a conversation
I don't know
table.
how it works in 5th edition. Never played it. Never even seen the rule book.
Rules as written, if I remember it correctly, is the DM decides when you roll your d20, and you have to roll a 1 on the d20 for it to trigger. So you could spend the entire.
It's not percentile dice anymore?
No, it's not.
No.
And it's the pure reason why I actually made my new homebrew for Wild Surge, is because I played a Wild Magic Sorcerer and I never surged once. On all my 20s.
Surging sounds fun.
Yeah.
So that's
the
why
big table of random shit that could probably go wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to make the call based on the story on the table, is because that way it's still up to the DM's discretion. That way he can control how much chaos he wants at his fucking table, because it can be welcomed or it could be really fucking game breaking.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way it feels more high stakes. So I like the high-low rule, so where it's just a 50-50. If I'm making you roll, it's a 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, guys, girls and they, thems, and everything in between. I think we're going to call it here.
Thank you, everyone that's listening.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, enjoy your Pride Month. I hope everyone went to a Pride festival. Support all your local gamers, support all your local peoples. Don't be a dick. Reach out if you need help. Too many people that are offing themselves and taking the sewer slide. So try to, reach out for some help. And then you want to take it away, Bipo?
Yeah, all right. barring the last couple of weeks, you could always catch us 6 a.m. Fridays and 6 a.m. EST, where we release our episodes both on YouTube and podcasters for Spotify, which is really just go to Spotify and look up The Depths of Jigoku and you'll find each episode. You can also follow us on Twitter or X at The Depths of Jigoku. We do have a YouTube, also The Depths of Jigoku. And slowly but surely might be posting on Instagram just funny little clips or like interesting topics or little polls for y'all to look on. And that's also at The Depths of Jigoku. And if you want business inquiries or like you have an ad or if you think you have a really cool topic or want to pop on and see if you're chill and you want to hop on for a little bit, just email us at thedepthsofjigoku@gmail.com. Y'all have a wonderful night.